Welcome to Teller Time, the podcast born in the heart of Woodland Park, Colorado, where every voice counts and every moment has meaning. We're here to celebrate the people who show up for work, speak out, and shape our mountain time with courage, creativity, and conviction. Thanks for joining us. And my name is Thom Seehafer. I'll be your host, and we're coming from the Pikes Peak Community Center, which is on the east side of Highway 67 and 24, being brought to you by the Ute Pass Historical Society. That's a great nonprofit to look at. This is a great place to check out. My guest this morning is Charlie Chambers. He's my sound editor here at Teller Time, plus he's been a key figure in the creative and historical landscape of Teller County. He's been very active in bridging history, media, and community. Good morning, Charlie. Tell us a little bit about what's been going on. There's a lot going on past and present with you, so we're going to start with the present and just go backwards. Let me just ask right now, how long have you been in Teller County?
Well, I started back in 2001, so it's been a long time. Thom, I've been looking forward to this with you for so long. Okay. I mean, we just have a good time.
Yes,
so
it's fun.
So that's what this is all about. Okay. And yeah, I did. I got here in Teller County. I started off in Cripple Creek. Believe it or not, I was bartending. That was the first job I got.
Okay.
And got to know a lot of people. But it all changed. Eventually, I started getting to know other folks, and I was able to get my old photography skills going again. And I started working with, of all things, the Mountain Jackpot newspaper, which is... It was fun. And working with the likes of Trevor Phipps, Cindy Valade, and Rick Langenberg, who's just been amazing all these years. From that, that's how I met you.
Right.
And that's how I've met so many of the other folks that have been in Teller County and are coming into Teller County. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, like I said, there's a lot to talk about this morning, from baseball to soup to the Historical Society to the Bergstrom Park in town. So I'm just going to let you pick a topic and roll with it.
Ooh, okay. Well, you're right. I like how you put the soup thing in. Baseball to soup. That sounds that could be messy, but anyway. Yeah, no, I'd like to, recently, within the past year, I've become the president of the Ute Pass Historical Society, and I do need to say a few words about that. I mean, the Ute Pass Historical Society has really started blossoming in the last year, especially because we've done so many different things. First of all, we acquired this building that we're broadcasting in right now.
It is gorgeous, people. Y'all got to take time to check it out, or go online at Facebook and look at some of the pictures of the Pikes Peak Community Center.
That's right.
It's gorgeous.
And the story behind that was just kind of amazing. I mean, I was approached at a function by the president of then the Ute Pass Community Club. And the president of that was Jim Irving, an amazing, wonderful guy. And those folks were just getting to a place after having the building for, well over 25, 30 years, where they just couldn't maintain it, couldn't do it anymore. So they approached me and said, we would really, your mission, and this is true, our mission at the Historical Society is to preserve and share history. So once we found out the history of the community club that actually went back to 1928, and got the full story of the whole thing, we had to take it on. We just felt compelled to try to hang on to it.
Makes sense, yes.
And so what happened then was our board, which, by the way, this board is a hard-working board. None of this would have happened without them. We put a committee together, and that was headed up by Pat Hislop, and they put together a plan to revitalize it. I mean, we're talking lots of paint, curtains.
Yes, big change.
Yeah, polishing up the original floors, the whole kitchen area, ceilings were redone. I mean, it was an amazing project, and all these folks donated their time and effort into this, and I can't say how proud I am of that whole group. It's just made a big difference. And now with that going on, we've got other things coming into the picture. But I do want to finish talking a little bit more about the Historical Society, because really they're, key programs are like hosting what we're doing right now. We do historical tours. I mean, there's educational workshops. There's field trips that the second, third graders do every year. And, we do community events.
Yeah, movie night coming up. You're talking
Well,
about
that's
movie
here
night?
at the Pikes Peak
I'm
Community
sorry.
Center. No,
Okay.
that's fine. So yeah, I can move on to that.
No.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of things. So right now, there's more things going on than we expected. I mean, we've got yoga classes, we got dance classes happening. There's Bible studies here. There's just the Teller County Republicans have their meetings here, and we do host quite a few things already.
So people can rent this out actually and just have an all-inclusive place. Like I said, it's gorgeous. It's got great parking. It's handicapped accessible.
Yes.
And it's a great inexpensive spot to hold, any function. We could probably put how many people in here that are sitting?
Well,
or standing?
120, I think.
120.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good
Yeah.
crowd, and still have room to dance and move and not being elbow to elbow with the person next to you.
Exactly.
Good.
So
All right.
that's happening, and then upcoming, you're right, we're going to be having movie nights soon, because we have it came with the building. There are 50 theater seats that came out of the ISIS theater in Victor from years ago, and they're in great shape and they're comfortable. So we're going to be able to have actual movie nights. We'll show old movies, we'll show new movies, we'll show some comedies, and all kinds of things. But what goes with that, and what's kind of that helped compel this whole thing, is the library, the Rampart Range Library District, is having a satellite library in this building.
Right.
That'll start in October. And they have the license to show all the movies, whether they're current or old or whatever. So we can invite the public to some really good movies and have a concession stand and everything else.
Black and Whites, Charlie Chaplin.
That's right.
Three Stooges, Laurel and Hardy.
Absolutely.
Showing my age, but that's okay.
No, that's
but those are movies. Those are movies
Those
with
were
no, CGI. Is that what they call it?
Yeah,
none of that stuff.
None of that.
This was real. This is when movies are real.
Yeah, they really did. They really went all out. And yes, we're going to be showing all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
And also this kind of segues into our other thing with the Ute Pass Historical Society. We'll show our documentaries that we've recently finished over the last few years. One of them is the Mighty Midland Train in the shadow of Pikes Peak, which is an amazing story, and it's an hour long. But also we have the Dude Ranches that were in the shadow of Pikes Peak. That was our first documentary, but both of them have won awards in different parts of the world. We have really been fortunate to have a great director, Rob Adriel. He's out of Florida, but he always comes up and, whenever we need him to shoot stuff like that. In fact, we got a new one on the books we're going to be doing soon.
Are these available online or at the website or anything?
Yes, they
What's
are.
What's the website that they would be found under?
The website is our website. You can go there. It's the utepasshs.org. And yes, you can go there. You can find them. You can always go to our gift shop. We've got DVDs ready to go. People buy them left and right.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been a good experience.
Cool.
So the new one that's on the books, which hopefully will be starting this shooting, we're going to be shooting this next summer in 2026.
You're going to let the cat out of the bag now?
I think I got to mention it.
All right.
Because it's exciting. It really is. There's one thing about this county, in the history of this county, a lot of people aren't aware of, is some of the women that survived through the difficult times, difficult years in the past, and some of the extraordinary stories that have come with this. It would be beyond us not to do this.
Right.
I mean, so it basically is going to encompass the women of the Pikes Peak region that are extraordinary women. And
Sounds good.
it's going to be exciting. It's going to
Okay.
be amazing stories, and I can't get into it too deep.
No, just get the appetite going.
There you go.
Whet the appetite. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds good. So there'll be more of that as it progresses. We'll be discussing it more on the podcast as plans get more cemented into the ground.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What else can we talk about here, Charlie? What else is going on?
Well, I think one of the main coming up things would be, great we could talk about here is the baseball game we're hosting here in Divide.
Okay.
It's called the Teller County Field of Dreams Vintage Baseball Game.
Vintage. Okay.
Vintage, yes.
Okay.
And so I've been in communication with a fellow, his name's Paul, and he is the commissioner of the Colorado State Vintage Baseball Organization, the association. And he's been real good. These guys actually go by the rules in the late 1800s when it first started. And I've been talking with the Divide, the Teller County Parks Department, and we're reserving that game for October 11th.
And players, what kind of players? Who are going to be the participants in it?
The Divide Fire Department and EMTs, et cetera, are going to compose a team up against these vintage players.
So vintage uniforms, the whole 9 yards?
That's right. They do. They have uniforms, and the guy even told me the other day if we needed to supply the opposing team with uniforms, he can do that.
Okay.
So they are authentic looking, and I encourage you, because check out our Facebook page. It's going to be on there. There's going to be photos of these guys. There's going to be the whole thing. And it's just going to be a great event. A lot of fun. The old days, the hot dogs.
I was going to say hot dogs, popcorn.
Yeah, peanuts.
Peanuts, okay. So vendors will be throwing the peanuts. They're
going to throw them wherever you want them
to. All right. Bring your mitts, folks.
That's right.
All right. That sounds like fun. Good.
It'll be a lot of fun, yeah.
All right. What else we got? We got soup and we got the park.
Yeah, so the soup that goes with the baseball, Tom.
There you go.
Man, I love how you put that together. On October 10th, actually, the day before the game, we're having our annual potato soup supper. And it's open to the public. It's actually, I'll tell you what, there's potato soup and then there's potato soup. And these people put together varieties of potato soup that'll just blow your mind.
Okay.
I've never had the most extraordinary soup in my life. I'm not a big soup guy either.
Right.
I'm not, but man, this stuff is amazing. The baseball historian that's going to be playing in the game on the very next day.
Okay.
His name is Roger Digger Haddix.
Digger.
Digger. He's going to be the special speaker at this potato soup supper.
Who's providing the soup? Just local people making their own batches?
It's
a set recipe or set people?
No, there's different recipes, but our board members, some of the ladies there, prepared this soup. But
so there's got to be a story behind potato soup. We're not just serving potato soup.
There is a story.
I don't know.
All right, Tom.
Engage and educate me, please.
I'll do it. The thing about the potato soup supper here in Divide, so back in the 1800s, the Midland Railway ran through here up to Cripple Creek, and in fact, it went all the way west. I mean, it was in the western half of the state as well. But what was going on in the late 1800s, early 1900s, was in Divide, the major produce that was grown here was lettuce and potatoes. So, we had a huge... a lot of things that they were asking, the country needed.
Right.
And so they would ship this lettuce and potatoes all over the country. In fact, there is a story that we have that was in the Mighty Midland Train documentary that talked about in the 20s, they were having difficulty in Texas with getting produce. And there were people literally almost starving. So they got with the growers up here in Divide, and they shipped a lot of lettuce and potatoes down to those folks, and we got letters that were thanking us over the top. It went all the way to New York City. We would pack ice out of Lake George Lake. Had an ice house there.
Okay.
And they would pack the train cars full of this ice to get it as fresh as they could to these other parts of the country. Yes. So potato soup.
What are the ingredients specifically, Jim?
You want me to?
What, so is it?
I can't say it either.
Is it lettuce? Is it lettuce and potatoes, or is there your?
Well, no. Here's what it is.
There's grown.
Yeah. No. So you have. It's just a good combination.
Okay.
Salads with potato soup. You see, and it just makes a wonderful dinner.
Okay.
And this is what we provide on that October 10th evening.
Okay.
The potato soup supper.
Is there a cost to indulge in the soup? Have the soup? Do we know yet?
Yeah, I think we take a donation. We like to get a $5 donation or something.
$5 donation.
Of course, you don't have to donate, but it's nice if you can. Okay. And it helps support everything we do.
What are the hours of service going to be?
It's at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. I think it goes 5 to 7 because, I'll be talking about some of this stuff, and so will the digger. The baseball guy.
Okay.
We'll be talking some history. So there's some entertainment that goes along with this in a way.
All right. And people just show up. They don't need to buy tickets, reserve a seat. They just walk in.
Just come
with
on
an appetite, and
that's
$5.
That's right. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. It's fun, and you get to meet a lot of the community.
Since this is how many times have we done the potato soup up here?
I think it's been going on for at least 20 years now.
Okay, and rough head count, how many people do you think usually wind up?
There's always minimal 50.
50 people.
And but like we said, we can accommodate more than that.
Well, it's a good place, yeah. Meet other people in the community over a bowl of soup and a salad and beverages. Yes.
We have beverages, we have refreshments, we have other things here,
Right.
So yeah.
Well, it'd be a good night to come out and see and listen and get educated about vintage baseball and the Historical Society and the community center up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And this guy speaking, I have to go back to that a little bit because he'll be talking about the game from way back in the late 1800s, the unique experience. It's just nostalgia for classic sports. And so, when you come and see that kind of thing, and including the game itself, the family bonding time and everything is just unique. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's good old history stuff, too.
Wonder if you could get any of the local baseball teams, the kids that play baseball, show them what baseball
used
to be and what it is now, and see.
Have the high school baseball teams? We're working. We're still communicating with a lot of people, trying to get folks like that involved. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
This is going to be an annual event.
Okay.
So this is the inaugural, for the Pikes Peak Community Center.
That's right. First time in the new spot. Okay.
But Hayden Park, which is right up behind us, and when I spoke to the park coordinator, he said your timing's perfect because it's going to be all brand new area up there. They're redoing a lot of stuff. It's just really going to be good.
You ever thought, do you have sponsors for this event at all?
The first time out, we just want to get it out and have it happen. Maybe down the road, yes, if you have food trucks, different things like that, we could get involved. We could get our local community people sponsors, but it would be just fun to have our people just starting out, just do it,
We've got Bergstrom Park. What can you tell us about Bergstrom Park? Where is it and what's happening down there?
Well, a lot of good stuff. Bergstrom Park, they actually...
But where is it? I don't know if many people know it by name or if they know if it is a park. So.
Right. It was actually more of the rest area right now is where it's known as, because you come into town, you come into Woodland Park on the right side, there was that replica train station, and in that is the bathrooms, of course. Right. They have picnic tables. They have some stuff there now. And it is called Bergstrom Park. However, since the Tava House is going in right beside that, actually, it spurred the city to put together a committee, which we were on, and it was called Reimagine Bergstrom Park. So what that means is to complement basically, I think, the town center with the new Tava House. It's an $8 million project. It's going to be a culinary school. He said there's some sort of event center that'll be in
Event
there.
center, I've heard, either a steakhouse or
Yes.
a brewery, beer brewery maybe.
Yes. Yeah.
But yes.
I mean, it does. It sounds. It's extraordinary.
Culinary school, yes. I think Paradigm, maybe it might be the name. I don't know.
I'm not sure what the name of that is, but they also call it a tap house, steakhouse, culinary school, and event center.
Okay.
But the culinary school and event, it really, this whole thing began in September 2024 with the groundbreaking.
Okay.
And it's on 6.5 acres roughly. And it's called the Woodland Station Downtown Woodland Park Project.
Okay.
So Derek Wagner is a chief executive officer who I was talking to this fellow about it, because it's right next to the Bergstrom Park, which is very historical by itself.
All right. So historical, I know something that the trees that are there. Tell me a little bit about the trees that are planted.
Right. So one of our concerns, and I had this conversation with Derek, was we have right next to that a row of trees that are, I think I was told 70 to 80 years old, that Bert Bergstrom had a part in putting in there himself back in the 70, 80 years ago. And so we didn't want to lose those trees.
Right.
They're very beautiful. They're big spruce trees, and they're gorgeous. I mean, they're huge. And these things can live up to 100 to 200 years old, or 300 years old. So anyway, we wanted to preserve as much as we could there. So we went into, this negotiation. The city did a great job with their reimagined Bergstrom Park committee to show the public their ideas on how this thing could work, which really, by doing that, involving the public, getting their impressions, getting their ideas, how they would feel about things there, it worked out fine.
Of course. Input.
It really
you want
did.
input so no one can point fingers and say you didn't listen, you didn't hear, you didn't ask.
That's right.
Exactly. You know what that's about.
Yeah. Okay. So, over time, we talked to him. We were concerned. We wanted to make sure, we were hoping that the replica train station that's right there everybody sees when you're going through Woodland Park, we were hoping that would stay. And we also have a baggage building in there that was original. And we were hoping that was, so those two things the city respected and tried to keep that history there, which really felt good to us, So we were really happy with that, and so was the public. And the last, which I think you can see on the city's website, is their last concept plan, has worked out wonderfully. They've expanded the park almost twice its size, because it wraps around off West Street going south, I think. And anyway, it opens up a lot more parking. There's a lot more walkways. There's small playgrounds for kids. They're redoing it. It's just going to be beautiful.
When is the expected finish date, roughly? Do they have any ideas on the finishing date?
I haven't heard a deadline on that.
Okay.
I do know they would like to, coincide it with the Tava House and try to get things all wrapped up. I don't know if it'll I really can't answer that question, Tom.
Okay.
But I know they're pushing to get it going, and they would like to see it happen. And I know the public will just love it, because it's going to be right down the heart of this town.
Right.
It's going to be beautiful.
Okay. So I've got a couple questions, because you were involved with the Teller County Film Commission.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that started up several years back, right before COVID. And you kind of, COVID did a lot of things. It stopped a lot of stuff from going on. We did have a lot of, right out of the gate with the Film Commission. We worked closely with the State of Colorado Film Commission. By the commissioner up there is Don Zuckerman, and he helped us get the Teller County Film Commission started. So we've worked with different local production houses, both. There's two out of Colorado Springs, and I think, we wound up doing Tesla commercials up here outside of Divide. We provided locations for Honda to shoot their commercials. basically we provided locations for shooting from
Okay.
places out of Hollywood and different other areas. And really, that's what kicked off the film commission. And let's face it, folks, Teller County has got some of the best locations in the world. But also, since I'm the president of the Historical Society, and we're doing documentaries.
Okay.
We have a nice little thing. I'm supposed to get with Don up there at the state capitol here, hopefully within the next month, and talk a little more about getting that back. Since COVID, to get a little
Right.
more activity in that area, because now the state has some really good incentives, tax incentives for production companies to come in from all over the country or anywhere to shoot, films here, feature films. Yeah.
Cool. So, okay, question. How do you see film and media shaping the identity of Woodland Park and Teller County?
Well, I mean, let's face it, you bring in production companies in different areas, it just helps the industries around town, anything from food to lodging to, employment.
Right.
I mean, it expands on the economy of the town. I mean, it helps bring in revenue that way. If we get more of that,
Okay.
we get more tourism, we get more economic development, and a lot of things in that area. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
With all the projects you've worked on, what's one project or story you think that deserves its own feature-length film? I know, loaded question.
Wow.
What do you think?
Well, you're talking like 2-hour film, a big
feature-length. I don't know. Let's say maybe an hour.
Well, that's generally what we do with the
Okay.
documentaries.
Okay.
The documentaries we've done so far are about an hour long, and the next one we're going to do is going to be about the same. To really nail down, there's a couple. It's hard to just pinpoint one. I will say one of the more fun ones I did was in Texas, of all places, in the middle of nowhere. It was down in the outside of Midland, where there was a big oil boom back in the 20s, and there was a fellow that he bought an old rest stop from the 60s, and it was the craziest thing because it was all half torn down. It looked rough, but he was revitalizing it because he has there's a lot of truckers that go through there hauling flatbed stuff and other things for the oil industry.
Okay.
And a lot of the terrain there that they go through is rough, and so they bend the frames of these trucks or the trailers. So he started a business straightening frames for these truckers down there. And
You told me the name of that.
yeah, the name of the film that we did with that, it was very short, but it was a kind of a pilot because he wants to continue with this. It was called Bent Straight. And the reason, I know it sounds weird because, yeah, it's kind of contradictory, isn't it? But Bent Straight was about this guy who had this business of straightening frames, and it was a West Texas frame straightening company. And he would only hire guys that were convicts or just, out of they couldn't get work, but they did have a skill. And he gave them a second chance. So it's sort of a redemption story.
Okay.
It helped these guys get back on their feet. And, there might have been one or two that fell off the wagon again and he couldn't keep them, but most of them worked their hearts out because he gave them a second chance. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that was the crux of that.
All right. Last question. If Teller County had its own movie genre, what would it be? Comedy, history, satire.
Well, you're asking me, the history guy.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
really, I learned so much in the last several years about the history of what's in this county and working with the historians like Steve Plute, Lori Gloth, so many others.
Okay.
It's like, I can't tell you enough the fascination I have with how this area, Woodland Park,
Right.
by itself, I mean, how it just exploded with the train, with the mining, with everything else. I mean, it gets so far into it. and the stories we have, yes, that would be an amazing feature film right there. I could see Kurt Russell.
There you go.
I mean, I could see some of these people playing these parts. It would be great.
Okay. So how can people get in touch if they're interested? Where should they go to look at some of these projects? I know you're around a lot, but if you wanted to pinpoint a point of contact where they can see some things and watch some things, where should they go, or how should they get in touch with you?
Well, definitely the website, upasshs.org. And then, of course, the phone number is 719-686-7512.
All right. Well, it sounds really exciting. The history, and people I think would be flabbergasted to know, exactly what's been going on from day one in this town to where we're at right now. So definitely people head on over to either of those websites, give them a call, see what's going on. But yeah, engage yourself and find out the history of Woodland Park and Teller County here. So Charlie, thank you very much for joining us this morning. That was awesome. And we will be at the Cruise Above the Clouds doing our first live podcast on Saturday, September 6th. So please look for us both and come over and chat, maybe get on the podcast. So we're going to finish up our show with what is happening from between Divide all the way down into the spring. So everyone knows it's the Labor Day weekend. We got the big balloon liftoff happening at 7 a.m. at Memorial Park down in the Colorado Springs on Pikes Peak Avenue. Beehive is a 60s musical going on up at Butte Theater in Cripple Creek. Divide Fire Company has their pancake breakfast Sunday, August 31st from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. Park State Bank and Trust has a big block party going on. I think it's 60 years or 40 years for a celebration on Saturday, September 13th, 10 to 2. Reserve Our Gallery. We had Gail Gross on here last week. This is their final Friday for hot dogs and beer at the gallery, because then next week they switch to s'mores and cider. That's starting September 5th at about 5 p.m. Their address is 400 West Midland Avenue. A friend of mine who owns Strength and Healing Massage Therapy, Jamie Sula, has a ribbon cutting on Thursday, September 4th at 4:30 to introduce a new fitness boutique called The Herd. Yes, chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. Go. One more event that you don't want to miss coming up. It's the Cowboys Legacy and the Ute Pass Historical Society present the 6th annual celebration of Western heritage in the shadow of Pikes Peak. Saturday, September 20th at the Ute Pass Cultural Center at 7 p.m. They will be showcasing award-winning musicians, poets, storytellers, dancers, and more, featuring legends of Dakota Country Music Hall of Fame inductees Alan and Jill Kirkham, plus Ernie Martinez, John Chandler, A Cowboy's Legacy, Ken Valles, and the Mountain Air Celtic Dancers. They're going to be kicking up a storm there. Join us for the special activities at the Ute Pass Historical Buildings from 2 to 4 p.m. and the Cowboy Church on Sunday at 10 p.m. There is a fee of $15 for adults, kids 12 and under free. And for more information, you can call 719-640-8721. Christmas is coming up. Yes, this year's Christmas parade theme will be a Charlie Brown Christmas, December 4th. They're looking for sponsors. And if you're interested in finding out more information, go onto Facebook. Look for Lights Above the Cloud Parade on Facebook. Next week, please join us for Jerry Raffel. She's going to be discussing the Pikes Peak Community Center, which is newly refurbished and gorgeous inside. It's a great venue spot.
And being here with Thom is so special. It's like being here with the Chuck Norris of Teller County, because Kempo Karate has been going for a long time down there by the City Market. You guys need to stop and check that out.
Kempo Karate of Woodland Park City Market Center. Thanks for the prompts, Chuck.
You got it. Chuck. Yeah.
Charlie.
Either one.
Okay. So this is Thom Seehafer and Charlie Chambers. Thank you for joining us. And until next week, do anything, but let it produce joy. Have a good day, folks.
Thanks so much, Thom. Talk to you later.